Now, Gilbert Public Schools, they're rolling out a new cell phone ban for students in kindergarten through 8th grade. Phones must stay off and put away during class, with a few exceptions, though. For learning, emergencies, or medical needs, students can still use devices outside of class time, but during lessons, the focus is going to be on learning without digital distractions. Schools are also restricting access to social media on campus Wi-Fi unless it is part of instruction. So joining us live to break it all down is Dr. Morgan Francis with Scottsdale Premier Counseling. This is kind of a controversial subject. It's become controversial because some parents think I need my child to be connected, but then the teachers, I'm sure they have a different perspective on this. So when you hear about a ban like this, what goes through your mind as far as mental impact?
Well, I think the teachers are trying to work really hard to get the children to be able to focus and have less distractions and all those notifications that can go off on a child or a teenager's cell phone. So I think they're trying to help the learning opportunity within the classroom, but I also can understand how parents want to be able to get a hold of their children for any reason, maybe even an emergency that could happen. So I think there's both sides to it, but ultimately we really want to see an improvement with the child regarding their mental health. So we know from research, there was a 2025 analysis looking at over 50,000 students ages 6 to 17 years of age. And what they found is 4 hours of access to their phone can increase symptoms of ADHD, depression, anxiety, and also self-esteem. So there are benefits to reducing the amount of time a child has access to their cell phone.
4 hours is a lot of time.
It is a lot of time.
That's a lot of time just sitting there. Wow.
Yes.
I know when I get the alert on my phone that gives me my time, I'm like, wow, I did not realize, just on and off throughout the day, it really does add up.
It does.
So some of these kids, though, I mean, they're rather addicted to their cell phone. And then all of a sudden it's going to be, you're cutting them off cold turkey when they go into the classroom. Then how does a parent handle that?
Yes, so there can be a lot of disruption, and you used a great word, and that is there is an addiction to a cell phone. And I often tell the parents that I work with, it's meant to keep your child engaged. It's kind of like Vegas, the house always wins. The cell phone is always going to keep your child on it because it has so many different ways of doing that to captivate their engagement. So there is going to be withdrawal symptoms. We may see child be really frustrated, have a low tolerance to be able to handle things, and have emotional outbursts. But over time, we typically see that behavior start to drop and really become desensitized. So the hope is that children, with the support of the school and their parents' involvement, will be able to have a better way of being able to be in school without their cell phone.
How do you, if you're a parent though, how do you handle that? Because sometimes if you take the cell phone away or the tablet, whatever they're on, and then you get that lashing out, you're just like, here, just take it. Just, be quiet. Here you go.
Right.
And then you just start the whole process all over again.
Yes, and that's actually exactly what happens. It is that behavior reinforcement. So there might be discussion where we work on having zone-free areas in our own home, meaning we don't bring the cell phone or the tablet onto the table when we're eating dinner or we're having breakfast. Or let's try to have no access to our electronics 15 minutes before we go to bed. And also it would be helpful for adults to look at their own cell phone use and try to support their child, saying, okay, I'm going to go off of it and you go off it at the same time, and let's do something together. So there is an engagement, so the child's not just sitting there bored and really wanting their cell phone or tablet back.
One thing that I've heard of, comparison fatigue, what is that?
Well, that could be something where, you're looking towards another person, and it's like, because you're constantly comparing yourself, that you are starting to get worn out. And so when we see that, we know that the child needs to have some guidance, needs to have some structure and support around that. And that can be something that a parent does. But if it becomes something more, it'd be helpful for that child to start talking with a licensed therapist.
When do you think, when you talk to these parents, when is a good time for somebody to come in and talk to a therapist if they think their child is they're on their cell phone way too much and they could be addicted?
Well, we see a lot of isolation with cell phone use. And then we also see problems with depression, anxiety, even increase in suicidal ideation. We also see self-esteem issues, specifically body image for girls, them comparing themselves to other girls that are strangers on the internet, thinking that that's what they should look like. Yeah. And then for boys, we see an increase with misconduct and impulsive behavior. So if those are becoming a problem in school, with friendships, with learning, and at home life, that would be an opportunity to bring your child in to talk to a licensed therapist.
I'm sure we're going to be talking much more about this as schools just try to deal with this.
I know.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.